What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 12 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Skulltaker Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, the southern Chaos Wastes are rapidly falling to Skulltaker. As soon as he teleported here, the southern Chaos Wastes were doomed. We have pretty much broken the faction of the Ghost of Pawash with a massive fight against these three blood hosts here, and by the looks of it, this faction will not be able to recover. I left you guys off last episode with a question or a vote as to whether we vassalize or whether we destroy Cairo's Fate Weaver and the Oracles of Tzeentch, and by a vote of roughly 1/4 to 3/4, it looks like we are going to destroy Kairos and the Oracles. We may hold similar votes for the rest of the Chaos Gods, but I feel like perhaps the general consensus is going to be to destroy them all, as only Khorne should be Ascendant. And Khorne is Ascendant right now with the Unholy Manifestation, so that should enable us to do some stuff rather quickly. So, we'll be trying to wipe out Kairos this episode, as well as get some of our other armies up and running. Now, speaking of other armies, between the episodes, while I was milling through heroes and lords, or looking through their traits, finally found a Chaos Lord with a decent trait, which we've been looking for since the start of the campaign. Iron skin, bonus armor, and a little bit of unit mass as well. Kuchar the Blood Hunter has at last returned. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this guy. For those of you who didn't watch previous campaigns, Kuchar the Blood Hunter is one of the community canon legendary characters whose legend began in the Archaon campaign and continued on afterwards. He's a mortal champion of Khorne that's famed for being Khorne's Blood Hunter. And basically, when Khorne is dissatisfied with the amount of blood spilled in his name, Kuchar sounds the call for the blood hunt, and Chaos Warriors from all over the world must answer that call. The blood hunt's basically a death march, an unceasing tide of Chaos Warriors that march and fight without rest, without stopping, without an objective even, save to spill the blood that was promised the Blood God. For the Warriors of the Blood Hunt, you either keep up or you are cut down, and for those seeking to be champions of the Blood God, they must learn to run before they can walk, i.e. any aspiring champion must complete a blood hunt. You either basically, any aspiring champion that cannot, it's Kuchar's job to personally cut them down as unworthy to walk the Eightfold Path. Something along those lines, anyway. Oh, and because of the nature of the Blood Hunt, Kuchar basically favors sort of fast-moving troops that can keep up with him. You know, Demon Engines, Blood Shrines, Gorby's Chariots, Flesh Hounds. We're going to put Karanak in his army as well. A bit of a Mad Max type deal, as well as some halberd wielders for catching and breaking beasts that are yoked to the army. And as we expounded upon in the Norska campaign afterwards, Kuchar the Blood Hunter, beneath all that armor, is a skin wolf. So if we can later vassalize a Norskin faction and put a couple of skin wolves in his army, that would be quite nice as well. Anyway, that's Kuchar. We're looking to retrofit all of these armies, including Skulltaker when he comes back here, and send them off on their merry way to do their thing. But in the meantime, let's get started, shall we? Skulltaker, you're up first, as you always are. We're going to send... wait. We are first going to pop that Unholy Manifestation and get you once again Slaughter Incarnate. Gotta love that character experience gain plus 300%, like so. Alright, and then we are going to... Alright, so that's popped up. Let's get a bunch of extra XP for all of our other forces. We're going to, I guess, sack Fate Weaver's Crevasse. How much is it worth again? 34, yeah, okay, yeah, we're gonna sack that. That's a lot of cash, and it'll fund a lot of stuff. It's gonna move this way, just a little bit past it. And we can catch a White Raven, Keeper of Lures, that would be great. Alright, like so. And obviously auto-resolve this, because there isn't actually much in the way of defenses there. And that'll damage us, actually more than I was expecting, but what can you do? And we will sack the place. Alright, got a Potion of Farsight that we don't care about, and that puts us just in range of White Raven, Keeper of Lures. Perfect. Gotta take advantage of all the extra movement range we got. We might even... depending on how much damage we take, we might want to instantly replenish the leader's army to continue moving, but we shall see. For now, though, Skulltaker. Do we need to level these guys? Alright, they have most of their stuff, don't they? I think the Blood Reapers have everything. It's too bad that Skyla doesn't have a mentor trait, so what, his experience is going to go to waste? Well, I suppose at least he'll be maxed out in terms of his skill points, as he's going to be moving to lead his own army soon. Yeah. I really do strongly feel like they should introduce a system where all legendary heroes can be sort of like Isabella, where they can be legendary heroes or legendary lords. They seem to not be able to decide what to do with that sort of stuff. But anyway, spread corruption. And the Blood Reapers, I think they're all maxed out, yeah? Yeah. Just waiting for that last mentor trait. Specialist into... I don't see them using Assassinate, but you never know. We'll do Assassinate on you, and we'll do Block Army on you. And I guess you're one level higher than the other guy. I guess you're gonna do Assassinate as well. Might never bother with Assaulting Garrison, because that's just less skulls to take. Go. Oh, another skull pile. Well, isn't that nice? Well, we got the skull pile to work our way through first, and we are still damaged. You can also see how the auto-resolve is heavily damaging the regular bloodletters, but the exalted bloodletters are fine, which is really why we need to get those exalted bloodletters on the field. And it's another reason why I've been trying to tech up to the exalted bloodletters in the blood hosts as fast as possible, so that they were more capable in the auto-resolve. Plus, of course, the other stuff that makes them better in auto-resolve. Anyway, you're in March stance, and I think that means you're screwed. Go.
I am Khorne's chosen, the murder god's own sacred executioner. Today, his eye is on you. Show him prowess!
Alright, here we go. Show him prowess and show me dizziness, because I got dizzy watching Skulltaker run around. Nice charge into the iridescent horror there, though interestingly enough it did no damage whatsoever. Just sent the iridescent horror flying. I suppose perhaps in jealousy of the herald there, who actually has a disc. Anyway, with the barrier down, it looks like the iridescent horror is down by 3/4 of its HP, and our fast movers are moving in a blob. We're gonna charge right through those spears, completely ignoring them and hitting the pink horrors right behind them. Once again, fighting these Tzeentch armies, our goal is to prevent any of the enemy range units from really doing anything, since our non-exalted bloodletters are pretty vulnerable to them. Though to be fair, I suppose the exalted bloodletters would be reasonably vulnerable to range fire as well, so it's still the thing to do. It remains as such. Anyway, looks like the pink horrors are having a pretty bad time. Some furies move in, but frankly, that, if anything, that just makes our job easier, as it would just mean killing the furies faster. And it does, however, look like a very threatening unit has arrived, the aspiring champion's Severed Claw, and we're going to send Skulltaker to deal with them personally, especially since he can't fly up into the sky and deal with that Herald of Tzeentch. The rest of our army will move away to the rest of the enemy pink and blue horrors. Skyla Anfengrim is fighting some units of spearmen, sending them flying, while we leave Skulltaker behind more or less by himself to deal with those aspiring champions. And definitely the hardest part of this fight for Skulltaker, and by the looks of it, they are starting to dish out a little bit of damage to him, having taken about 20% of his HP. It's a very tough unit, and, well, they have lost about half of their HP so far. Surprisingly, only 2 of their number have fallen. The rest of the army can't say the same, however. I mean, the rest of the Tzeentch army, as the pink horrors and blue horrors have all been pretty much silenced, in the sense that they are firing no longer, and almost all of the units are tied up in melee, and Tzeentch units certainly don't want to be in melee against Khorne units. Nice jump in from Skyla. The fight between Skulltaker and the aspiring champions there continues, and he's down to half HP now. So that's pretty impressive. But alas, the aspiring champions will fight no longer, and even though Skulltaker was brought down to half HP, he does have double heals up, so he can pop the potion of healing and the I forget the name of the other thing, the Bloody Shackle, and then just basically get his HP up to full. The army has shattered, and the battle is once again ours. And though there's a little bit of Slaanesh fighting in the future as we continue taking the Southern Chaos Wastes for ourselves, this is probably one of the last fights of the campaign before the retrofit for Skulltaker, I mean. As in, the bloodletters will be switched out to those exalted bloodletters that we've been toting around with one of our armies as soon as we teleport the heck out of here. Alright, there we go. Very, very nice. Frankly, we didn't suffer all that much damage at all, losing only 13 units. Our Blood Crushers, as usual, did fantastic work. And let's see. Once again, lots of kills on the Brutes of Ferocity, those Blood Beasts, and doing good. And the Skulltaker, he took some very, very worthy skulls this time around, fighting the Severed Claw Aspiring Champions, especially as it is a Halberd Aspiring Champion unit, is probably a tougher fight than fighting most Lords in the game, one-on-one, especially as a large unit. So, well done to the Skulltaker, and those skulls certainly proved worthy. We are going to, I guess, take the skulls from this. We're going to probably colonize a few things shortly, so may as well. On the other hand, it's not a lot of skulls, and we may need to replenish to be able to auto-resolve. Alright, you know what, Devour Captives, then that'll allow us to move, so we can move towards this guy who'll probably run, and we'll chase him down and try to move further. See how far we can get here. We have 2 turns until we teleport away, after all. And yes, we'll still have to retake Fate Weaver's Crevasse, but that's what the Scarlet Hunters are here for. They're going to march stance towards it, and I'm going to grab it next turn before it can recover. You bring down Rel, and auto-resolve, obviously. And get a little bit more in the way of, I'm going to say, replenishment again. Alright, how much movement range did that give us? Not quite enough to reach the Lost Palace, but we could replenish and move towards it, or we could... I mean, if we sack it next turn... I wonder if we can grab that skull pile. Can you grab skull piles in March stance? I don't know. I don't know, risk it. I don't know what'll happen. It would be nice if skull piles could replenish your movement range. And ooh, I just remembered something. Actually, I just remembered 2 things. Wait. Gorby's Chariots for Kuchar the Blood Hunter. No, I think he wants to be on a Juggernaut or a Chaos Steed. Juggernaut for Skinnerrath Sundervex. I don't know who you are. Armor of Silvered Steel. Kuchar. Yeah, not the Gorby's Chariot. I think that we can potentially put a couple of Exalted Heroes on Chariots on ya. And I may either keep you on a Chaos Steed or put you on a Juggernaut, depending on what we do with you. Also, obviously, once again, Community Canon, Heroes, Lords, etc. Are growing in their lores, so if anybody has any other cool ideas for Kuchar's origins and all that, do let me know. In addition to, as in adding to what we already have. Kind of by coincidence... I put Obsidian Armor and Obsidian Blade on him, and I'm kind of thinking that maybe we can work that in somehow, that he's known for using Obsidian weapons and Obsidian Armor. Maybe, I don't know, something really ancient and Chaos Corrupted, something of that nature, before metal was workable, maybe. But anyway, let's think on that, shall we? Half-Deer Nightbane, you, sir. There's no lords for you to kill, unfortunately. Oh. A moment. I wonder if a rat will count. Well, let's find out. You stay here. Let's see if you regain your movement range after going after a rat. I love the fact that this guy's name is a rat. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Kill. Auto-resolve. Let's better not damage our army. Yeah, okay, no, we're fine. Tiny bit of replenishment. Ward save, aid, talisman of endurance, nice. And then you're gonna grab the Plain of Dogs. These places should all colonize themselves over time, whereas Plain of Dogs needs to be directly colonized by us. What is this? Is this an army? No, it's just this is a battle marker. Alright, enemy killed in battle, great. The Red Harvesters and the Skullhounds are hanging around. We want those Sisters of Twilight, though I suppose we could also give their defeat trait to somebody here, like Kuchar or Half-Deer or whatever. Frankly, all that regeneration or whatever that they have is so nice that we should probably get their defeat rate on multiple lords. Anyway, for now, we're going to spend the turn raiding a teensy bit, so all of you guys raid this, and the Doom Reavers, frankly, you're probably not needed here, but whatever, just raid it for a turn, it's not a big deal. Alright, and then Kuchar, maybe you can leech a little bit of that XP. Alright, so you guys have moved. The other thing that I remembered is, are we in range of Arbol now? We were very close last episode. What do we have here? Probably should have gone this way, but I went too late. Alright, Arbol. What's this? What's this? Challengers of Khorne. Arbol the undefeated, Confederation immediately. Fantastic. Oh, I wasn't expecting that, but that's pleasant. I just want to double check what Scarby is doing. Is Scarby confederatable? No, minus 61. Man, I'm so happy. Just as we reach him, we acquire him. Well, I guess that means not beating him into submission, but that's fine. I'm not mad about that. Let's see how much territory he has. Alright, and this is a new avenue for fighting as well. Skull Road. A lot of Kislevites out here. What are you? You are a cultist of Khorne with strong, which ain't too bad actually, so we'll keep you. Hey, and we do have the nearby Chaos Dwarf factions as well. They are holding a lot of nice territory. What the heck is this? Sioktraken. There's no way that we could just give you Sioktraken and immediately vassalize you. Oh, it's very close. Join war against Masters of Innovation. Join war against Drippin' Fangs? Balance offer? Wait, if we give them 37k and trade this, they will become our vassals. Now granted, they do hold a lot of territory, but this is quite nice. I think, despite the insane cost of this, it's a pretty solid investment. Granted, they've got a lot of territory out here, but you know what? We don't need all the territory. We're Khorne. Frankly, most of the territory we want is territory we want for the purpose of not points, what's the word for it? Oh, I guess these guys do have 2 iron, though. That's another 10 armor for all armies if we were to destroy them, but there's armor elsewhere, admittedly. Okay, 1 second, I just want to check something else. If we were to give Sioktraken to Wintertooth, who currently has minus 161, okay, that's not happening. I think we're gonna do it. And Arbol's up and running. Oh, that's kind of impressive, or surprising, I should say. He's level 18. Did the AI screw up his points? He has points in demonic units, which means it kind of does, because he wants the Chaos Warriors. We can also give him the we can also give him Skull Crushers because he buffs them, as in the Regiment of Renown. Does he buff them directly in any way? Chaos Warriors Chosen does buff Skull Crushers. Yes. Extra charge defense for non-demonic infantry units, devastating flanker for Chaos Knights and Skull Crushers. So he can have Skull Crushers and Chaos Warriors, essentially. Yes, good. Yeah, his points are screwy, but, well, we kind of expected that, let's be real here. Alright, so, again, trade, Sioktraken, vassalize, join war, Masters of Innovation and Drippin' Fangs, and wait, even without doing that, it's basically the same amount of money. I mean, we will probably join war against these guys, but if with these guys, we can do that after. Just give them the 42k. Not like we're looking to hold on to Sioktraken right now. Like so, this will give us a nice amount of vision, and that'll enable us to get Chaos Dwarf units. And as long as we protect Uskalek, we'll have access to the tier 5 pretty much immediately. Costing all our money or not. Where's Uskalek? Right here. Lovely. Alright. Alright, and how are you feeling about this, Jarnagrund? Ooh. Join, oh, they're not at war with anybody. Oh, they're actually quite close to vassal possibility. Quick deal. I just want to say something. Become vassal. Exiles of Khorne are closer to vassalage than Confed, but they won't like the Confed for... Wow, going down to minus 22 from that Confederation. Darn. Ironclaw Orcs. Okay, Archaon doesn't want to be our vassal. Perhaps he needs to be beaten into it, essentially. Decent likelihood of that happening, then. But anyway, in the meantime... Arbol and Chant. Okay, so we don't need the demonic units here. Huh. He has... Huh. Well, that's interesting. He has 3 soul grinders and 2 skull cannons. Ah. I'm just thinking we could borrow these and resummon Half-Deer Nightbane here with his ranged army and transfer them. Ah. Yes, good Ruinous. Alright, now we will want to reset Arbol the Undefeated, but we can't do it right now because... Okay, wait 1 second. Delete the doggos. You have movement range, right? I want to trade you 2 units, the Fleshhounds and the Halberd Wielders. Delete the dual weapon Marauders, I guess. Delete both of the Marauders. Like so. We'll keep the Forsaken, though, and the other stuff. Anyway, as I was saying... Okay, transfer, and we'll get the Cultist in here as well for supporting of the army. You grab this. Good. And then if you have nothing, you're going to go away now. Like so. Since we're transferring XP, and I'm not sure that XP transfer works while your lords are not in the... sort of not active, what we'll want to do is... Oh, wow. Well, actually, I was about to say, do we need the defensive structures here? Frankly, the defensive... I mean, even maxed out, the defenses of Khorne are surprisingly garbage. Like, look at this. This isn't a very good garrison. I mean, I know I've been spoiled by the insane garrisons of the Dark Elves in SFO, which are just psychotic, but, yeah. Anyway, this gives us Skull Cannons and Soul Grinders, which we've been building towards, funnily enough. And, oh, this gives us the Tier 4 Trophy Hall. That's interesting, because should that not mean... 1 moment. Let's get Monuments of Rage, let's delete this, and let's delete... You know what, keep this for the upkeep reduction in region... Wait, in region. Keep it for a turn or so. And delete the skull thing. Do we want to keep the abattoir here? It doesn't offer us anything, but you know what? Who knows who will declare war on us and when. Is Tamarkan alive? Yeah. We'll still want to take Archaon's skull, most likely, unless he wants to be our vassal. We could vassalize him very quickly by giving him a territory. Is he at war with Tamarkan? No. I don't want to give him any of our current territories, though. That would be not great. Who is he at war with, just out of curiosity? Just the Masters of Innovation for now. Alright, well, he's certainly an option, but these guys are the main thing we're starting on our outpost. Anyway, we want this guy up and running while we're getting the additional movement range, or the additional XP on Skulltaker, who did not gain additional movement range after killing our rat. That's a little bit disappointing. But oh well, what can you do? Alright, what are the defenders like the Lost Palace? Not all that much. I do feel like we gotta keep him moving. I guess the question is gonna be who's gonna take the Fortress of Dawn. We may want to raise a Blood Host here, as these 2 Blood Hosts may be able to grab Fortress of Dawn together in Dawn's Light. How many territories does Kairos have? 10 to... Oh, wow, he's got a lot more than I was expecting. Go figure. Alright, well, either way, so here's what we'll do, assuming that there's nobody else that can move or gain us a Lord kill, but I'm pretty sure that there isn't. Crimson Beasts are heading down the river, because we're going to Cathay soon. You got... Oh, wait, there's a... Will this count as a Lord? Well, let's find out. There's demands indeed. Alright, go here. Go here. And go here. Nice. Auto-resolve, presumably. Hopefully it doesn't do too much damage. Really? It halved all 3 armies for that? That's not great, but not much I can do about it. We'll want to wait probably the 2 turns to be able to take the Godless Crater at Tier 3. I don't know if it's... Well, maybe it's not necessary. It does have salt, though, that's the thing, which is nice for us. I think we can wait. You guys go into raiding. Go into raiding for a couple of turns, and then we'll... do we need you here? Wait. Bone Legion, you're going to go to Mount Athol. You don't need to move this way. We're rapidly going to take the territories here, do this, and then... We're gonna take one place. This place doesn't seem to be really worth spending 2.5k skulls on, because it'll be a tier 1 anyway. So skulls for the skull throwing this place up. Then you can't move. Perfect vigor for the Bone Legion, go figure. Never-ending Chasm is also gonna be a tier 1. So yeah, this is the place to take, and the other places are places to raise. And yeah, the rest should be fine. Alright, that's decided. That lord counted. Meaning we can do this. Auto resolve again. And skulls for the skull throne, 6.3k skulls, or sack it again. We did just spend a lot of money, and we still do need more money. I'm gonna say sack again. I know it's a lot of skulls. We'll raise the blood host in the next territory, I guess. Although who knows how distant the other territory is. 13k is a lot, though. I also didn't check whether this place had any, No, you know, maybe it's safer to raise the blood host. If we're moving this way, we're going to continue moving this way. That's not going to change, most likely. A lot of resources for a single blood host, that's the thing that bothers me. A second. Alright, now we are going to grab the skull. Actually, it's only 60 skulls. I'd rather not waste the movement. Keep going here. This way. We're almost at Volol tracks. Keep racking up that XP for all of our new lords. And then we will go for... Wait. Does Unholy Manifestation still work if you're in March stance? I'm just going to assume that it does. Find out. Eternal War. Go. And auto resolve. And no, you can't really heal from it. Alright, then, how much did that restore? Enough. Not enough, just not enough. Oh, that's a shame. But oh well, what can you do? Just get as close to Volo tracks as you can, and we'll probably raise it. There is gold down here, I knew it. Okay, this one we want to occupy, meaning Volo tracks, despite the pretty great amount of cash that we could get from sacking it, we may want to actually... Oh, Lost Pass had furs. Actually, I guess we wanted to occupy that for the missile resistance. Anyway, what I was saying was we'll probably want to raise the Blood Host here so that these guys can move on. After all, we have a limited time, and we want to make our way through the entirety of this place. If we had extra time, I'd probably send Skulltaker a little bit northward. Oh. I mean, now we can send a... You know what, if we summon a hero here, we can send him to the eastern colonies, and we can send him up to Kugath, and then take them both out with the... with teleporting rather than what we're doing. Anyway, at least we're remaking our cash. Slaughterhost, Doom Reaver. Okay, aren't you supposed to be raiding? There you go. Raiding of Volnir Dull. You're approaching to where you need to be, which is all the way here at Grey Rock Point, as we will be meeting up with all these three armies and retrofitting them. And I guess it depends on where Skulltaker will teleport, which is probably going to be either up here to deal with these guys or up here to... I mean, look at all these armies. It's a lot of skulls to take, and the Kari's faction is nearby. You just hang around, Terra Masters. Though I still think that we should avoid destroying this, just let it be, until they draw the Sword of Cain. Anyway, Doom Feasters, you're fine. Who else needs to do something? Cultist, you were supposed to go set up a cult at Athaloran. Although... just go. I was gonna say, although maybe it's a good idea to stay nearby so we can teleport to all of these elven factions, which is still probably gonna be the case. Anyway. Skull Throne. That's what I wanted to do. You know what, let's save it just in case our next couple of auto-resolves force us to instantly replenish. I am very tempted by the growth, but we've got the main important thing out of that, which is, I believe, here. Yes, Oishul, tier 3 now. Meaning in 3 turns, we'll have the slaughter brutes and stuff available to us. Next up, okay, you guys have moved. So this army is nearly complete, minus the couple of Wrathmongers we want to put in here. Maybe a single slaughter brute, I don't know, just to sort of make the army a little bit more viable. And you keep recruiting until you're done. Your army is also kind of nearly complete. Let's get 2 more Chaos Warriors of Khorne with dual axes. You're going to be a little more knight heavy, so you know what? No, let's do 2 more Chaos Knights. I wanted Chaos Knights with lances, but we'll We can build them later. I don't want to wait the extra 5 turns to get the army moving. So let's do that. Then let's do 2 more of these guys, and that'll take exactly 2 turns to do all of them. And that'll more or less complete the army. The Gorby's chariots are going to be removed from here, but another lord will take this guy's place, or we'll transfer these units to a different lord, and that'll be that. Alrighty. And obviously we'll need cultists and stuff in here, but that'll be for a little bit later. Oh, wait, actually, if we need cultists in here, will we even have room? Assuming these are... Well, we could replace these 2 with cultists instead. I was about to say Blood Reapers, but that's not super necessary. Or we could do both. Cultists and Blood Reapers. Yeah, but then this is kind of a mortal army, so it's not craziness. Anyway, just keep doing what you're doing. I believe we can go into building now. Let's see what we have money for this time around. I forget what we're gonna do here. Income, I believe you do nothing in terms of capacities, right? So the income is the better building. Yeah, alright. Income. Let's do some Blood Reaper capacities. Isthmus of Illustria, yes to the construction cost reduction, yes to the cultist outpost, yes to upgrading the fallen gates so that we can get the building up and running, as in the landmark. And here we are going for... It's another cultist building. Alright. What about you? More cultists? Yes, please. We're definitely not going to have enough money to do all this, but what can you do? You have the cultist building already, so you're going to go into the Jugger Plant building in order to get the other guys as well, the Exalted Heroes. Upgrade this Jugger Plant the best you can. Culkin Plains. Port. Wish we hadn't wasted so much money, but the vassalage will hopefully prove worth our time. And let's go for trophy racks, and let's go for cultists. Next, we have another Jugger Plant, but I think not enough money to do anything else. I mean, we do still have plenty of places to upgrade, but they're going to have to wait until next turn or until we get more money. Alright. Out of curiosity, how close are we to this Magus guy? 7 turns. I'm really curious as to what exactly this unit does, because I don't know. Also, we should probably give you item... Well, actually, no, there's no need to right now, because this army is going to be... Well, not deleted, but, you know. I wonder, if we declare war on Archaon and we give him the monolith of Festerlung here, which will complete his province, we might be able to vassalize him in that way. That way we won't just be constantly fighting chaos. I feel like maybe we destroy the other chaos gods, but we vassalize all of the chaos warriors. Essentially, all the chaos warriors there now to serve Khorne. That kind of makes sense to me. Yes. Good, Ruinous, good. Oh, we also want to make sure to try to vassalize Zatan, who's got only 6 settlements. He's probably going to have a tough time against Grimgor here, but it should be easy to have Arbal go down here, take a few of Grimgor's territories, and then, you know, take them, or give them to him. Ooh, Karekadrin might be a fun fight. Ah, there's lots of stuff to do. Lots of stuff to do. I'm getting excited again. Skip the Lord Not Moved, unassigned skill points, building upgrades, outpost upgrade, low funds... I'm aware. Huh. I mean, our funds are low. Are you? Huh. It's saying low funds as if it's going to cause us to suffer attrition. That's a little bit concerning. You know what? Undo the Jugger Plant here. Hopefully that'll, you know, not low funds us. Alright, I think that's good. We are raiding as well. We could sack a few of these places, but then the Sisters of Twilight will move towards these guys. Also, are these places... Oh, they're not really worth sacking. Barely any money, so just keep raiding. Actually, out of curiosity. If you raid here... That's better. You move here as well. We'll raid this place until we get ready to move up here, or until we teleport up here, depending on what we want to do and how we want to deal with it. The other unholy manifestations, you're going to grab the Plain of Dogs. I'm just looking at if there's a settlement that needs to be occupied. I suppose if we raise the Godless Crater, we could always just have this thing occupied. If that's the way we want to do it. I'll think about it for now. End turn. Gotta get more battles going after all. I do wish we could get another couple of lords down here to take Kairos' defeat trait, but since you guys voted to destroy him, we're not piecing out with him now. Far too late for that. Alright, Disciples of Hashut drawn to Destruction Scarpel's lair. Just the one. Okay, 2. Still not as many as I'd like, but anyway. Skulltaker gonna go on the other side of Vol Tracks. Like so. And then you're gonna hit it. Slaanesh giggle. And you're gonna auto-resolve it. So, and you are going to not sack it because we need another blood host here. So, blood for the blood god, raising at the blood host. Alright, and what do we have here? Decent one. These two should be able to take all of this as needed. Drill Master is fine, and Executioner's Axe. I think that's what we had on Kuhar in the previous campaign. You're going to proceed to Skullcarver's Abode. Somebody said we're not supposed to have Skulltaker and March Stand, so hopefully that'll do it. Then, Chaos Steed for Sigurd. Then we are going to occupy Fate Weaver's Crevasse with you. Unresolve. Why does this one unit get so badly damaged? And occupy. Like so. Delete this for now. Well, actually. I mean, this is a tier 5 building, but frankly, we'd probably need this building here too, so it's not like, yeah, alright, fine. It's fine as it is. Alright, that's good, and then we'll move towards these two places, Crimson Legion and this guy towards the Lost Pass, and then both will move northward. You, Skulltaker. That counted as a Lord defeat. Interesting. Move here. And then get towards Skulltaker's Abode, and we'll occupy that. Next, okay, this guy... Oh. I imagine you won't be able to auto-resolve this. Although, I guess we'll see. And what do we have here? Oh, actually you will. Auto-resolve. And... Calls. Because we're going to occupy the other one. Answers Blades, yada yada, and Skulls. Now, Skulltaker, did you recover your movement? Indeed you did. Still not close enough, damn. Okay, wait, we should be able to over here. In a second, you guys are going to occupy the Godless Sky. Oh, no, you're not. Next turn. I lied. One more turn, let it go up to tier 4. But what has reached the appropriate tier is the ancient city of Quintex. So, that's you, Halfdeer. We're going to occupy this, and we're not going to sack it, despite the fact that it offers us 60,000, but we can take it to tier 4, and that's pretty darn good. Especially since it has a landmark and all that. So, you're gonna move to Ancient City of Quintex. Heroic Vic? Yeah, this isn't worth fighting. Let's face it. We'll move the blood hosts in. Besides, we got a retrofit, so go here. Go here. And go here. Alright, you are going to occupy the Plane of Dogs. Colonize. And we will immediately build it up as... It really doesn't matter. Mortal, you two are still sticking around. We'll see if the Sisters of Twilight attack you, but in the meantime, you can rack up a solid amount of cash, raiding every turn until Halfdeer comes up there. You guys are all in range? Yes. Sorry, Morathi. Auto-resolve. We've already defeated you in a proper fight. We don't need to do so again. And we still get 15k out of that. And then we will... 60k. Occupy it. Right, it's a tier 5, so we could take it a tier 3, but it'll take so long to grow that, nah, just occupy. Sword of Bloodshed. Nice pickup. And a Potion of Healing. Yeah, that was the right decision. And trait gained. Enemy killed in battle. Action destroyed. Cult of Pleasure. Alright. You don't need the Sword of Bloodshed, though. That's not appropriate for a Blood Speaker that's going to be on a War Shrine. And we got to keep the Vaults of Quintex, and... go figure, we got to keep the Wrathmonger building here. That's fantastic. I really wasn't expecting that. Delete you immediately.
A blood ritual may be at hand.
Yeah, blood rituals are always at hand. Start building Wrathmongers. Oh, and Chosen of Khorne with dual weapons. Oh, you could do that with... they're really expensive, though, if you do it global. Alright, do this. Chosen of Khorne. Okay, that really worked out. I'm very happy with that. Go for the Cultist Camp, I guess, as well. Cultist Camp. And should the Karanak... Ensure the following building has been constructed Trophy Hall. Okay, I guess it doesn't count when we build the Trophy Hall via Confederation, because we have it. We have the Trophy Hall. Well, it's okay. We're building other Trophy Halls, so Karanak should be on field to join Kuhar soon. And ow, should have used Kuhar to leech XP, but it's okay. We've transferred a lot of XP from Skulltaker to him already. You're fine for now. The rest of you are going to move out because you're not needed here, and by rest of you I mean the Blood Hosts. Move, and move. And we'll deal with the building stuff in a bit. Yeah. Alrighty, next. Our new armies. You are going to Cathay in 1 turn. Let's have you join up.
I will send them into a further exalted hero of Khorne
Like so. And then you join up.
by making victims.
And then... I did want to get this army 2 Wrathmongers. Can the Skulltaker survive? Well, if he's going to occupy... If he's going to occupy this place, he'll heal up anyway. Okay, wait. So what we're going to do then is this. We're going to go to Cloak of Snow. We're going to go to Unholy Manifest now. We're going to go to the Skull Sorry, I get confused. We're going to go to this, and we're going to pop the Bread and Bloodshed to reduce the global recruitment duration by 1 turn, like so. Alright, since we are recruiting, then what we're going to do is move Skulltaker to Skull Carver's Abode, and ooh, Abyssa, waiting for a fight, are ya? Alright, occupy this because it's got gold, so use the skulls. And we gotta keep the gold, beautiful. And we don't need this building, whatever it is. Alright, and then you're going to move towards Abyssa afterwards with more or less, if not full health, and close to it. Yes. And hate Slaanesh means I'm not even going to hold a vote. We are going to destroy them because there's Slaanesh. Alright, Skulltaker. You're doing good work today. You then, now that we have that, are going to get 2 Wrathmongers. I know that they cost on the field. So we'll remove 1 Forsaken and 1 Spawn. Like so. And then we'll use the 2 Wrathmongers as the sort of the main line of the siege. Well, not the main line, just sort of the ringers, the sort of linchpin, the anchor, etc., etc., etc. It's just that, obviously, these guys, the Blood Speakers, they buff Wrathmongers and Skull Reapers and really not much else, but they do provide this fantastic all-army buff. It's just that I feel like it's appropriate to have at least a couple in here. There we go. Plus, they kind of work with the Forsaken and all that sort of stuff. And now the army is complete, save for the potential of Blood Brutes, but we don't really need them here. Anyway, the recruitment... Okay, you're fine, unless you want a global recruit, but we can wait on that. You can actually get the last warrior of Khorne with dual axes at a higher rank, and frankly, because I just popped that thing, you can do the same, so... 2... Chosen of Khorne with dual weapons. Beautiful. And I guess the same thing is actually true here. We may as well start building Arbal's army. Just gotta be careful with our money, because I'm being a little bit, Okay, so you can build Soul Grinders, you can build Skull Cannons, you can build the Khorne Gores and stuff. Huh. Wait. Are you telling me you never built the infantry building? Oh, that's so weird. Wait. Then how does he have Chaos Warriors of Khorne? Did he... Are you telling me that those are the ones he started with and he never built the Mortal Chain? That's so bizarre. Anyway, I guess we'll have to build it ourselves. Go for the defenses here because we're kind of in the middle of everything. At least until we vassalize everybody. And I think we're actually going to start off by moving towards the Monolith of Bubonicus, occupying it, then immediately trying to vassalize Archaon by trading it to him. I don't know if it'll work that way, but if it doesn't, well then Arbal the Undefeated is going to have to fight the Ever-Chosen. Unless Skulltaker teleports in and takes his kill. Who knows? It's a possibility. Yeah, you are going to also go for the Trophy Rex, and then we'll delete the Growing Rage, and then we'll replace it with a military structure. We also don't need the Crimson Lake here, as it does not do much for us, and I don't really care for the growth here either, so we'll delete that as well. A bit of a mixed territory, but that's fine. Alright, and you're in Monuments of Rage. That's good. Can't recruit anything as yet, but we may use some global recruitment depending on whether we have the cash to do so. Crimson Beasts. I know it's a little bit of an admin-heavy episode, but clearly we're building lots and lots of armies at the same time. I think you guys are going to be happy with this at the end of the day. I just gotta make sure we know who's going to who. So you guys, you 3, are all trading units. We also want to double check about heroes. What's the next place that can summon cultists? Okay, we got a Bludgeonous Slaughterer here. And... let's get the Bludgeonous Slaughterer.
Cultist of the Blood God.
Alright, we'll need more cultists after all. You'll need cultists, everybody's gonna need cultists, that's why I keep building the cultist buildings. Gotta have those support units. I just like the support units. Slaughter host? Wait, was that was his turn. Okay, so you are good. Terror Masters. You are sort of sticking around because Tyrion's right there and all these guys are... Alistar's right there. It's a nice potential teleportation for Skulltaker. We could always meet him up here after we take some heads. And, oh, we'll immediately need to move this army next turn up here because once we start warring with Ulthuan, they'll start going here. Yeah. But hey, it'll be fun. Kuchar, you're stuck where you are for the turn. Scout, you've done your scouting. I guess the question is, do we unsummon you, or do we wait to set up some cults? Maybe we wait to set up some cults. Stick around. I'm not sure you need to find anybody else. I guess you can wander around to find potential teleportation targets, like Serena Catron, for example. It's a possibility. Anyway, the rest of you two are fine. You're fine. Terror Masters are the ones that I just moved, I believe. Could go this way, but I want to stay in range of these guys. Anybody else? Cultist. The cultist that just is supposed to go make cults. Go make cults. Valgar Ovenson is the other cultist that's supposed to join Arbol, so go this way. First, you are supposed to join Skulltaker, who I presume will teleport to fight Tyrion. And I believe... Okay, you know what we can do, actually? I should have done. I should have traded Volnir's stuff except for the blood letters to Kuchar, and then sent Volnir to trade them. Although, wait, no, Volnir is the one that's going to command these guys. Okay, no, it doesn't quite work. Also, you can build one Wrathmonger via global recruitment. Yeah. Actually, frankly... We'll start with the Wrathmongers, because they're going to go into this army immediately. Alright, sorry about the admin for those who don't like it, but it'll be worth it. It'll mean more fights with these armies rather than for the Bloodhost armies. Let's also build up the Infernal Harbor. We don't really have the money to do all this right now, so just limited stuff that we can get going immediately. Let's do you. I'm gonna say you, so that we can get this up and running. Or the Chaos Knights with lances. Potential for both, but anyway, start with you. Alright, looks good to me. You know what, let's build both the military buildings here, just so that we have them. Yeah. Alright, I like it. Cloak of Skulls. We have 200 Champions Essence again, but we're not going to use it because we want to make sure that we can teleport. Skip Lord Not Move, skip unassigned skill point, skip Garrison Lord, commandment available, don't skip that. Monuments of Rage. And... upgrade you. No, this is supposed to be mortal, and this is supposed to be mortal. And ow. Okay, just go. Mortal. Mortal. Gotta check those little ones. And outpost upgrade available, ignored. And we are once again good. Yes, I'm just gonna assume that yes. Go. Alright, we should get a proper fight against Abyssa. I'm going to assume that she's not going to run away. Occam's Forever Maze should have a very solid garrison, plus Abyssa herself. And we gotta get that fight going. Though, of course, I'm not sure we'll be in range. And what is this? Karanak? Is it Karanak? Kuchar the Blood Hunter. No. I spurn your offering. I like Kuchar the Blood Hunter as a mortal. He doesn't need to ascend to a Demon Prince. We'll have another Lord. We'll have another Demon Prince leading some other army. Not Kuchar. He wants to be mortal. The challenge of the blood hunt is to overcome it, is to overcome the tiredness, the never-ending nature, the never-stopping fighting, etc., etc. You can't overcome it if you're a tireless demon. Anyway, continue as a mortal permanently. Alright. Recruitment cost -5 for Skinnerrath, good. Province secured, the Bleak Coast. Very nice. I'm gonna upgrade this immediately and pop that Monuments of Rage. Ashen Coast. I'm gonna upgrade you immediately, and pop the Monuments of Rage. Iron Spike, Tyrant Peak, Volo Tracks, Forest of Arnheim, good. And mission issued, enter a military alliance. Damn, that probably means it wants us to military... Oh. Actually, no. I thought this was Confederation. I thought he was becoming closer to Confed, but it doesn't look like it. He really needs to lose his armies. Anyway, Skulltaker. Are you in range of Abyssa? No, you're just out of it. Just out of range. So go to the edge of this territory. We'll see if we can't find another lord to kill, and that's also upgrade roll tracks. See if we can't find another lord to kill, and thereby restore your movement range. Aha! A Shodel is back, so that should count, meaning you are going to get as close to Abyss as possible. Right there. You're allied with anybody? No. Declare war. Like so. Disciples of Hashut and Rakarth are vassals. Ooh, also Rakarth. For our ranged army. Oh, right. Gerald Black Raider. This army is ready. Beautiful. Are you ready to build Medusae for us? I think he's 1 or 2 turns away from it, from what we saw last time. Are you not? Unlocks recruitment of Bloodrack Medusa. Okay, so we have it. We just need to be able to afford the 4,000 gold to get his tier 2. Yeah. All right, so we'll do that in a second. Gerald Black Raider. Are you going to go for elves or are you going to go for Cathay? Because it's somewhat closer. Good options in both. There's good defeat traits in Cathay for your low armored army. I think you're going to go for Cathay. Let's go this way. We'll have somebody else start up on recruitment here. We'll need to get out of a port or not. There's no close by port. Alright, so we're just going to go through here, through the sea line. This one will take you here. We could land at Fuchao and grab that. Hey, Jiao Ming's right there. Yes. I would love to teleport to him and get his defeat trait for Skulltaker. And all of this. Once again, there's a lot of good defeat traits in Cathay, but we'll deal with it. Anyway, the retrofit. You know what? I'm going to do the retrofit between the episodes because there's a lot of unit swapping between all of this. So I don't want to overburden you guys with too much admin, and I'll just show you guys what I did next episode. Scarlet Reavers, you're going to besiege this. Really? Valiant defeat? No. Not with all 3. We don't really need all 3 of you guys here anyway, so we'll do this. And we'll do this, and that should be more than sufficient. There we go, close victory. It'll heavily damage these blood hosts, but I'm not sure that we care. Too small of a fight to be worth our time, and we will occupy it rather than sacking it. There we go, and another tier 3. Vanguard deployment for the Scarlet Reavers. Reptilian Ravager, enemy killed in battle, Fleshhound Handler, Talisman Protection, Collar of Khorne. There we go. Finally we have one. And Ghost of Pawash destroyed. Kuchar gets his Juggernaut out of all the trading, and will immediately build up that salt for the buffs, as well as the... I guess Trophy Rex. You are not a capacity thing, but you're fine. So I'm not going to spend money on you right now. Alright, Blood Hosts. Set sail, I think? Actually, maybe travel on land. We're going to have you move towards the rest of the Tzeentch and stuff. I'm not entirely sure that they will still be viable, as in the Blood Hosts will still be viable by the time we get there, but we shall see. You need to grab the Lost Palace. Hopefully Kairos isn't back with like a full stack there. Looks like nothing to me, so grab that for essentially free. Well, Skulltaker has recovered his movement, and we got one more turn of the... one more turn of Slaughter Incarnate. Meaning, we could take Occam's Forever Maze, and probably sack it, because we're really running out of cash, and we need it for recruitment for all of our new armies. So, Pyrrhic Victory, that's what I like to see. That's a lot of Demonettes, and a lot of damaged Bloodletters. Go. Alrighty, hopefully not too much of our own blood is spilled before we get into melee combat, as the enemy has a lot of those towers firing away at us, and as we know, Slaaneshi towers are very, very dangerous, and pretty darn accurate as well, so we should watch out for them. Looks like our Bloodletters are gonna take a few hits here, and for some reason the Hellforge Bellowers as well, though that one I think is not going to be the best use of the enemy's ammunition. As for our own ammunition, we are trying to fire upon this this tower here, though it is going to take a long time to work through it or through this gate. That said, it has to be done, so we will continue sort of lining up outside the enemy settlement in the hopes of getting our fight going. Enemy will drop a lash of Slaanesh on some of our bloodletters, doing a teensy bit of damage, but really it's the towers that we are more wary of. Unfortunately, though, it looks like the gate will fall shortly, and we are going to send some bloodletters up on top of the walls to do some fighting. That said, this may not be the best of ideas, as it is exalted demonettes rather than regular demonettes who are defending the place, and I believe the exalted demonettes, oh, there are regular demonettes here too, and the exalted demonettes are right there. In short, that's not the greatest matchup for us, especially after climbing up those ladders. So I do imagine that the exalted demonettes definitely have the advantage here. Though fortunately, like I said in the last fight we fought with Skulltaker, since we will be retrofitting his army shortly and transferring the exalted bloodletters to his army, he should be just fine. Anyway, at this point we've broken through the gate and our own exalted units stream into the city. Granted, we only got 2 of them in our army, but that should be more than enough, especially with Skulltaker and Skyla leading the charge. I suppose this is also one of the last remaining fights we have before Skyla leaves to his own army and the blood beasts that will be therein, and whatever else we decide to put in there. I'm still thinking Blood Beasts and Gore Beast chariots because I want Blood Beasts and Gore Beasts working together. And I'm so salty about the fact that we have Gore Beast chariots but not regular Gore Beasts. Still feels a little bit weird, but what can you do? Anyway, looks like we've cleared a decent breach around the enemy gate. Enemies do continue to surround us, but we are certainly winning the combat there. Not so much up on top of the walls, as this unit of bloodletters is down to, what, 20% of its HP or so, and is having a very tough time against the exalted demonettes. But, at the very least, it's given them a nice fight. And let's face it, Skulltaker is wanting some nice fights, isn't he? Not to worry though, I'm sure we'll find them as we continue teleporting around and doing all that. Anyway, the fight on the walls continues, and while the enemy is giving better than they get, the same once again cannot be said for the units around the breach, which have been absolutely ripped apart. The Marauders certainly stand no chance against exalted bloodletters, though we will back off one of our units of exalted bloodletters so as to not take further damage. Looks like the Allurus here is... that Allurus should be dead. I think it might be a desync. Well, that happens. I think the desyncs in sieges do still happen, but whatever changes have been made, they make the desyncs less severe, so some units don't take as much damage or something like that happens, but more or less the commands are still followed. And that's just fine. I mean, as long as it's only a slight desync, it doesn't really bother me that much. Anyway, our units continue making their way further into the enemy settlement. It looks like a massive pile of blood and bodies around our units, as they do this fairly successfully. We have taken some damage, however. One of our Blood Reapers... Okay, this never happened, so that's a desync, or part of the desync. But everything else is more or less happening as it should. I wonder if this guy's gonna die. He didn't die in the battle that I actually fought, so... just ignore it if it happens. Ooh, damn, that's a lot of splash damage coming in from Skyla. And presumably from the second Blood Reaper as well. And it doesn't look like the enemy Marauders are having a particularly good time, and the exalted demonettes are melting away as well. The enemy Lord had long since died at this point, so yeah, definitely a big old desync, and I hope that the battle doesn't end prematurely. As we do still have fighting left here. And alright, looks like Brastite is starting to heal itself, so even though it got more damage than it should have in the desync, it does appear to be recovering some of that HP. Explosion coming in from Skyla and Fingrim. We can still see him using said explosion while within blobs of enemies, so, and desync or not, he's still obeying orders appropriately. And I suppose the orders were to move into a blob of units and to attack them. Alright, how we doing otherwise? Looks like the 2 units that were fighting the Exalted Demoness up on the wall survived, even though just barely, but hey, and they did manage to pull it off. These guys should probably not be standing still, actually. But all good, if they're doing so right now. A unit of Demonettes attempt to flank us, but obviously we'll get overrun by the Blood Crushers without any kind of issue. I still find it strange that the Blood Crushers are tier 5 or require a tier 5 building, and just like Skull Crushers do, because Skull Crushers are a better unit, and I still feel like you should be able to access Blood Crushers at tier 4. Maybe it's just me, maybe they're too powerful for tier 4, I don't know. But it feels like you have to wait a little bit too long to get access to them. Especially since Khorne grows somewhat slowly. I mean, this is like the one campaign where I haven't been spamming growth wherever. Maybe I'll pick a province, just like one province, and go for all growth there. Anyway, the growth will be pretty stymied in the Slaanesh location, however, because, well, most of their troops have been destroyed. The bounce power is at about 80%, maybe 75% in our favor, and we continue to chase down and destroy whatever enemies we can catch. And especially since there are a bunch of isolated units now sort of left over since the big blob failed to defend the breach, we can chase down, surround, and destroy any of those individual isolated units. Really nice to see the Skull Cannons moving together with the Juggernaut units as well. Everything's nice and on theme. Anyway, it looks like that other unit of Marauders is booking it on out of there. I think at this point Skulltaker is supposed to be chasing around an enemy lord or hero, but I'm not sure whether the desync has allowed it to survive, because I don't see it in here. And I guess the Lord died somewhere in there. I'm actually quite curious to see how this desync will end. Anyway, Blood Beasts make their way into the fray against the Marauders of Slaanesh with spears. Sorry, devoted Marauders of Slaanesh with spears. But I think those spears are a little bit too short to deal with the Blood Shrines / Blood Thrones and the Skull Cannon. And yet another one of those Marauders of Slaanesh units will be destroyed. We'll probably bring down that barricade, assuming the desync allows for it, and do the same thing to this barricade over here. Heralds of Khorne are trying to go after a unit that's here, which is quite interesting, as I imagine in the non-desync they were probably out here somewhere, as otherwise they would be trying to charge these Demonettes. But hey, it's still working. It's still working, and as long as the result isn't majorly impacted, I'm fine with that. Looks like the unit of Demonettes has stopped our unit in its tracks, but we can see the numbers of Demonettes dwindle rather rapidly. Though that said, they did manage to bring down 2 to 3 of these Juggernauts as well, so can't say that's not impressive. And these guys do appear to be, unfortunately, a little bit stuck. They probably are still taking orders to move after units that are here that aren't doing anything. And yeah, see, these guys are now, they're now kind of standing still and not doing anything. Yeah, that's the desync for you, folks. We've been sort of getting away with doing cinematic sieges with the desyncs not working, but yeah. Anyway, it says Pyrrhic victory, but that's just due to the broken desync. Suffice it to say that the rest of our units moved up here and destroyed the like 2 or 3 enemy units remaining, and the battle was ours. The real sort of the real deciding moment of the battle was all this fight outside of the breach, and that went more or less as it was supposed to. Alright, there we go. Been a while since it felt like Skulltaker had to actually work for his victory, and this was a close victory. Certainly suffered a lot of damage on the Bloodletters. We saw the Exalted Demonettes rip our regular Bloodletters apart in the same way that our Exalted Bloodletters ripped regular Demonettes apart in the past, so a little bit of a taste of our own medicine there. Lots of kills on our Blood Shrines and our Skull Reapers and whatnot, but that's hardly surprising as the Demonettes are relatively fragile infantry. infantry blobs, and this is where the blood shrines, thrones, etc. shine. And we got 119 kills, solid number on Skulltaker, and 3 times as many on Skyla, which does make sense. And it's better that he's currently holding the chainsword, as he's making better use of it with that number of kills. Anyway, we are going to sack the place. Yes, it's an insane amount of skulls, doubling our skulls essentially, but we really need the money to continue our recruitment. So we're sacking, and then we're occupying. Even though it would be nice to continue moving out this way, but, well, it's not like we're reaching the Castle of Splendor this turn anyway, and yes. And we may as well thus occupy. Like so. Alright, and... Huh, okay, I don't know why that finished up the Karanak thing, but, well, we got Karanak, best boy. Let's repair you, and I guess we'll keep the cultist building here, where you get another cultist point, but I don't like these cultists, so I'm just going to get you on the field, and I'm going to delete you, and then we'll keep milling through you guys, as we need those guys. Where does Karanak get summoned? Does he get summoned at our capital? Or are you telling me there's another quest? Oh, it's probably get kills with flesh hounds, isn't it? Isn't it, game? But let's give this a read. To carry out the Lord of Murder's bidding is to sate his endless appetite for violence, and now is the time to unleash his raw, unreasoning vengeance onto the mortal plane for your blood-soaked cause. Karanak, the three-headed hound, is a vicious and implacable demon, endlessly prowling the master's throne room when not carrying out his murderous bidding. Did they... use the word bidding twice and... okay, anyway. In fact, Khorne considers very few of his champions worthy of summoning Karanak. Unquestionably, any paragon of violence and destruction in this existence has much to gain should the chosen hunter of Khorne be weaponized for their own ends. As is the blood god's way, bloodshed shall beget bloodshed. To summon his prized hound, Khorne's gaze must be turned. And... okay, so... unlock hero Karanak, unlock hero Karanak. Oh, so... okay, well, I'll give us a read in a second. The Hound of Vengeance bounds... oh, it's only for 6 turns, so it doesn't matter. The Hound of Vengeance bounds forth from the realm of chaos, your bone-strewn shrines, providing the surroundings to mimic Khorne's grand throne room, where the beast gnaws on the discarded scraps of fallen warriors, but no longer. Karanak is now yours to command. Where will you focus the Hound's demonic strength to bolster your host for the coming glories? So... and unlocks Karanak either way, so either for 6 turns we can reduce the recruitment cost for doggos, or we can increase the experience gain for all characters. Yeah, that's the easy pick. Look, I love the doggo. If this was permanent, yeah, but 6 turns, who cares? Serve the masters. Use Karanak's presence to spur your lords and heroes towards their murderous deeds. Lovely, and he gets summoned, unfortunately, at Skulltaker. They really need to revamp the way that heroes work, because it's really annoying when one gets summoned all like somewhere across the world, and then, well, Karanak's gonna spend like 10 turns moving towards Kuchar and joining his army, so, yeah. We look at that, Kairos is back. We're a little bit busy here, which is, we can teleport right now. Well, what we'll probably do is we'll raise a blood host at the Castle of Splendor next turn, assuming that we can reach it in 1 turn. Hopefully we can reset our movement range, and then we will teleport out of here. Though, there is an argument to be made about knocking Kairos out here as well, since, well, he's had a lot more territory than I was originally expecting. Well, he won't become our vassal now. I'm not going to peace out with him because you guys voted not to, but I was just curious. Anyway, folks, with that, we are out of time, or rather, I'm going to call the episode here. The thing is, there's a lot of admin to do in terms of getting all of our armies, sort of trading units and all that stuff, so I'm going to do that between the episodes rather than waste your time with more admin. When we come back, we'll finish up at the Southern Chaos Wastes with Skulltaker, and we will teleport to probably Tyrion and these guys. I'm still a little bit on the fence as to whether to do the Sisters of Twilight first for the massive replenishment that we could gain out of it, and then just sort of, you know, move to Tyrion via water. There's decent potential for both, I'd say, but I'll give it some thought, and if any of you guys have any opinions, let me know as well. Anyway, more Skulltaker to come, and now that we got more armies on the field, we'll be seeing a lot more of them over the Blood Hosts. Gerald Black Raider will arrive in Cathay and let the frenzied units do their thing. We got 2 turns now until we can start summoning Blood Brutes and Blood Beasts and Slaughter Brutes, and thus we'll also start recruiting the... Beastmen army. Out of whichever place allows us to build them. Okay, so we can build them out of here, so that's what we'll do. So, yeah, more Skulltaker. Stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the Threshold, as we are probably going to start dropping 2 30-minute episodes soon. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.